This is the Fulda Gap from Compass Games. It's part of the CSS system, which is an evolution of Grand Tactical System GTS. Now, this is the first module that they've done, which they've set in the Cold War period, Cold War gone hot sort of theory. I think it's about 1980 something it's set, I'm not entirely sure. If you look at the game, it's another biggie. This is on 10-foot by 4-foot table. Sorry about the glare here. This is bad natural lighting at the moment. We're using artificial lighting. So we'll have a look at it the other way where it's not so much glare. You can see that the map takes up a large amount of space. I'm playing the first campaign game, which is the surprise attack, and there is another one called a NATO counter-attack. Now, this is a very controversial game, and everyone's going, oh, not again, he's doing another controversial game. But I'm afraid I picked this up second-hand, unplayed, unpunched, and I wouldn't have paid full price for it. And the reason for that is the rule book is a disaster. Apparently, the story goes that it was sent to the printers with an unproofread, basically in an unproofread state, where large parts of the rules have been copied and pasted from the World War II CSS game without anybody checking that it still made sense in the Cold War scenarios that we've got here. Now, somebody has gone to the trouble of redoing the rule book entirely, so I've printed that off. It's about 60 pages or something, but it's single-sided, and it's pretty it's not tightly packed text or anything, so it's not. Apparently it's a good job. I couldn't comment on that at this stage. There are also problems with the counters to such an extent that they sent out these counter. Now I'm not sure whether these are completely counters that are completely missing or ones that are revised. I'd have to look into that a bit later. Other things, I don't think there was any issues with the actual player aids as such, but I may be wrong about that. I'll have to double check that. In terms of the rules, though, not only are they or were a complete mess, that there was they just weren't adequate to explain what was going on. For example, I think the air war rules is about 6 pages, and it's far more complicated than it can be explained in 6 pages. In terms of quality's good. The counters are good, a wee bit thin, but they're big counters. The map's nice, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Nice looking. Player aids are nice. Rule book, if it wasn't complete rubbish, it would be a decent rule book. The scenario book, as far as I know, is okay. It's decent enough. Now the map. Whoa, this is where the controversy really comes in here. This map is allegedly, in the rule book, it says it's 500 meters per hex. Loads of people have looked at this and said that is absolute rubbish. This map is actually 1,000 meters per hex. Now, people have said, all right, well, we can fix that by halving the ranges and halving the movement points on all the counters, round up, I think. But that starts introducing a whole host of other problems. It's just like a can of worms you're opening. you're starting to get things like your anti-tank missiles, which can't be fired at 1 hex range. If you're halving them, the range, they're always 1 hexes. You've got problems with the slopes as well on the map. People who were stationed in this theatre at this particular time say there are no steep slopes. All the slopes are perfectly passable for armour, even the wooded ones. So you begin to see the problem here. Now, some people have gone to an immense effort to redo this, and you know they're basically redesigning the game. As soon as you go that place, you've lost it, because this was play tested with a certain set of rules. The scenarios are written with certain movement factors in effect. If you halve them, you're not going to be able to get to your objectives in the time that you've been given, etc. It just becomes a mess. So as I am looking at this, I am probably going to play the rules as they are out of the box for 500 meter hexes, even though they're not that well, they're not realistic for what the actual map is. Another thing, people started having a go at all the orders of battle and the way certain units, company units, were organised, which is fair enough. There's lots and lots of disputed facts about how it actually, well, the actual sort of units that are depicted here, and how they all work together. So I'm not going to get into that. The reason I've decided to give it a go is because I got it cheap, and also I've heard that it is a good game. And to me, with some of these Third World War ones, I think getting totally hung up on the accuracy of a fictional combat system is a bit sort of, well, I say fictional combat system, fictional combat events is a bit OTT. So I'm going to go, as I say, I think I'm definitely going to go with the game as it is, out of the box, and see how I get on with the new set of rules. The Thunder on the Mississippi has gone upstairs, and I have played a little bit more of it, but I wanted to go at this one. So I've got sort of games that are at this sort of scale for Third World War stuff, but they're all like set up on modular maps, so you're not playing sort of a real terrain scenario. I just wanted to play this out on a map that actually bears some resemblance to what the actual terrain is. But when I say that it bears some resemblance, it does bear a strong resemblance to the area. It's not a bad map. It's a very good map. The problem is the scale that's causing the issue. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. Oh yeah, one thing I will say: setup for this game is a dream, because it's a meeting engagement and a surprise attack. Warsaw Pact, you haven't got to set up anything. There's nothing on the board when you start, and NATO has a couple of units set up here in Bad Hersfeld, and a few in Fulda, a helicopter support engineer there, and there's some other units which will arrive on the board after certain activations have taken place. Right, there we go.